Today's journal entry is called "The Good News is the Bad News." I was teaching chemical dependency studies at a small adult school near my home. One day, Butch asked me what time would be my dinner break because he might drop by. Just a few minutes before the break, the students in the classroom at the front of the building came running back to my classroom at the back of the building, demanding that we all come and see what was going on in the parking lot. I walked out to discover my darling husband parked in 3 parking spaces on the other side of the lot in the shade, here to deliver a 7-course meal. I was escorted up the footstool on the back of the pickup truck to sit on the wheel wells in front of a table with a tablecloth and electric candles. He served sparkling cider, squeezed cheese with Ritz crackers, prepackaged salad, canned soup, a prepackaged dinner that had been insulated to stay warm. We had pudding cups for dessert, and he packed me up with gourmet coffee to take back to my classroom. At precisely 18 minutes, he scooped up the corners of the tablecloth, taking it all away, and escorted me down the footstool so I could get back to my classroom in time, so I could continue to support him in the manner to which he had become accustomed. This is a lovely example of what it was like to be loved by him. These kind of memories make it so hard because it reminds us what we have lost. There is sometimes an example given of grief as like a wound. First, the pain of the original wound, the potential pain and infection, the stitches, the healing, and the scar tissue that eventually makes you stronger. I think it's more like having 2 toggle switches. On one side is the pain and the dread, and on the other side is the joy and the hope. More and more often, the switch is flipped to the joy side, but it very regularly flips back to the agony side. And it's exactly like being put in a time machine and going back to the moment of the original wound. The pain is as bad as it was in that moment. I think that's why C.S. Lewis says in A Grief Observed that grief feels so much like fear. It's that quiet, abiding dread, never knowing when the switch is going to flip again. In the movie Shadowlands, C.S. Lewis tells us the story of his wife's death by cancer. In one scene, she is in remission, and they're having a lovely picnic, and it begins to rain, and they hurry into a cowshed, laughing and enjoying the moment. And he suddenly is struck by the pain of knowing that he's going to lose her someday. And she says that the pain now is part of the joy later, which he neither understands nor agrees with. In the movie Shadowlands, it ends with him now raising her son by himself. The boy is riding his bicycle off to school as C.S. Lewis stands in the driveway and watches him go. The voiceover says, "In this life, we can choose suffering or safety. When I was a boy and my mother died, I chose safety. Now I choose suffering." And that is the choice for each of us. In order to become the best version of us without them, we have to agree to walk through the deeply painful mourning process in order to also experience deep joy. The good news is that we will find both ourselves and God waiting for us at the end of the path. And the bad news is we will find them only in the depths of the agony that we would like most to avoid. And worse, the fast forward button is completely disabled.